Hari Om. Today we are in Sringeri. This is Sri Sharda Pitham Matha set up by Adi Shankaracharya in the 9th century. Why did he decide on this place? There is a story. The old name of this place is Simhagiri, and this is on the banks of confluence of the rivers Tunga and Bhadra. So when he came here, it is said that he found in these jungles a very poisonous cobra shielding a pregnant frog from the hot sun, and he was totally overwhelmed looking at this picture. He said the natural enemies can be so friendly in this place, so the vibrations of this land must be very, very divine. So he set up this first matha here. He set up 4 different mathas in the 4 corners of India. So for the south, he chose this place Sringeri, which is close to Udupi on the banks of Tungabhadra river. Hari Om. I am standing in front of Vidyashankara temple. Vidyashankara temple was built by the disciples of Vidyatirtha, who was the 10th Shankaracharya. He was equally powerful and resplendent like the Adi Shankaracharya, and he is the man behind Vijayanagar Empire. He was the spiritual guide to Harihara, who set up the Vijayanagar Empire. When his time had come, he told that he is going into Lambika Yoga, and he stopped all his bodily functions, and it was almost like live samadhi. And he left instructions that for 12 years his body should not be moved, but they were not followed, and in 3 years when they opened up his cremation samadhi, then they found no body inside. Then his disciples Bharati Krishna and Vidyaranya built this beautiful temple Vidyashankara on the samadhi of Vidyatirtha. Vidyaranya Swami is well known for Panchadashi and other treatises which are as powerful as the treatises written by Adi Shankaracharya. Hari Om. In the temple is installed the murti of 4 dimensions. 4 dimensions the murti, in which there is Brahma, Vishnu, Shankara, and the 4th side is Vidyatirtha himself with Bharati Krishna and Vidyaranya. That you can see in the temple. Hari Om. I am in front of Sri Shardamba temple. It is said that Adi Shankaracharya, when he roamed the whole country, it was suggested to him there is a very wise Pandit called Mandan Mishra in the north of India. So to have a Shastrarth with Mandan Mishra. So he travelled to the north of India and he had this Shastrarth. So who was the judge? Judge was Mandan Mishra's wife, Bharati. She acted as the judge, and everybody had a lot of faith in her judgment, in her intelligence, and in her discrimination. It is said since she was a Grahastha-shrami, she gave 2 garlands of fresh flowers and put in the necks of her husband and Shankaracharya. So every day she would finish the chores of the house and rush to where they would start, and she would see whether the flowers withered. But it is said that 8 days both the garlands were as fresh as ever. Now, both were not losing, both were equally good, and Mandan Mishra was very, very well versed in all the Shastras. Both were not losing. And finally, Mandan Mishra asked him a question based on the Grahastha-shrama. And since Shankaracharya was a sannyasi, he was taken on the back foot. But he said, give me some time. He asked his disciples to preserve his body in a cave. And he took some time off and he left his body, and it is said that he entered the body of a king who had just passed away that time. And he entered the body and spent 2-3 days as a king to know what is a grahasthashrama, what are the duties of the grahasthashrama. After that, he again left that body and returned back to his original body. Till then, his body was preserved by his disciples, and the Shastras started again. And now, he was well prepared for the question on the grahasthashrama, so he could answer that. So both were equally good. There was nothing. And finally, in the Shastrat, Shankaracharya was declared as a winner, and one condition was put. So whoever is the winner, the other person will leave his mode of life and become the disciple of this person, one who is the winner. So since Shankaracharya was declared as the winner, Mandan Mishra gave up his grahasthashrama and became the disciple, who was actually much older in age than Shankaracharya, but he became his first disciple, and he is known as Sureshwaracharya. So we can see the temple of Sureshwaracharya also here close by, and this matha was assigned to Sureshwaracharya in Sringeri. So when he assigned the 4 corners of India, Sureshwaracharya was put in charge of Sringeri, South India. Hari Om. Sri Shardamba is Goddess Saraswati. This was set up by Shankaracharya because he valued the intelligence, the eloquence and discrimination of Mandan Mishra's wife so much, so he compared her to Devi Saraswati, and the presiding deity of Sringeri is Sri Shardamba. So in honor of Mandan Mishra's wife. Hari Om.